So in this vlog, I wanted to cover something like that I've noticed, and I think that like for the last 2 weeks, I've been noticing like a pattern, and I don't know if it's the same person or not, but like there's this person who's popping up in my feed, and this person kind of has like a gang stalker esque vibe, but they created a channel, and their channel, in the channel they're saying I'm a gang, I'm a targeted person. So like people notice about me, people who are on my channel notice about me, like I'm very like skeptical when people say that they're targeted, because I know how deep this whole situation is. So like I don't really want to get into details, but I know that this is a deep situation. Like it's far deeper than just like a bunch of random thugs who are just harassing you because you claim to be a Christian or you are a Christian. There's lots of Christians out in the world. I mean, they're not targeting every single one of them, but so I don't really talk about the deeper elements of gang stalking that I'm aware of, because I don't want to make like I don't really want to just, I don't think we need to touch on that. But so me knowing how deep the rabbit hole actually is, when people make these claims and they're just like, oh yeah, I was just, I'm all poor and gang stalked, and they have like a gang stalker esque vibe. And then and it's just like they create this possibility. I don't really know. I don't really know, but I think that it's really hard for me to just accept that any random person could be targeted. And I think that but it's like you don't really know why you were targeted. And it's really hard for me to accept that just like these random people are being targeted when I know it's so much deeper. So I kind of felt like the gang stalkers themselves started creating channels. And I also say that because I also say it because, like, I haven't noticed people streaming gang stalking material, but maybe that's just because my YouTube feed hasn't been like feeding me that up until recently. But the gang stalkers hadn't had a whole lot of success with their stalking, and I kind of feel like one of the things they used to really enjoy doing is mocking me. So they would just, you know, like in the very beginning when they were trying to sensitize me to their bullshit, they would go out of their way to mock me, to sort of do what I do in order to sort of mock me, which is kind of common. And I kind of feel like they're going back to their roots because they're not having a lot of success with the operation. So they get their stalkers and then create a channel and then have their stalkers set it up. Because I think that like that is sort of how they would approach it, because that's how they approached it in the beginning when they're not being successful in what they do. So a gang stalker creates a channel that's basically a mirror of my channel, except maybe, I don't know, maybe it is, maybe, I don't know, maybe they are being gang stalked. But conveniently, they're also claiming to be Christians and all this other stuff, and I'm like, well, I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to say, but I'm pretty skeptical. I think that I think that it's not a big deal for them to do that, because it doesn't really serve a purpose that is working against what I'm doing, as far as I can tell. I mean, if they're, saying that their gang stalking is real, I guess that's, I don't know. Like, I don't know. But obviously, they don't really have a problem with people having that message. I think maybe they want to sort of box me in with their gang stalkers, because they're like, look how, I'm some beggar begging for change, and I'm, all this, and some black guy, some black beggar, and that's what it means to be being a stalking victim, and I'm not that. But maybe in their mind they want me to be that. Okay, I'm not even black. I mean, I don't even fit in that in any category. But gang stalkers like to say to create the box that they want us in. So they create a box. So they have a gang stalker. They get a beggar or somebody and some druggie and say, hey, this is what it means to be a gang stalker. This is what that is, and tries to insult you by inserting their people into what you are, the environment that they created around you, in an attempt to mock you. So like gang stalking, no one is paying attention to a street beggar for no reason. I mean, or some thug or whatever their people are. I mean, nobody. Why would the entire world pay attention to this person? Like, I'm not going as far as to say I'm special, but I mean, you don't get this much attention unless there's something more. You're not just some regular, person from the hood or wherever, or some person from wherever they're from, wherever these people are from. And then all of a sudden the entire world pays attention to you, the Illuminati, everybody's paying attention to you, and you become Truman of the Truman Show. That doesn't happen. Straight up. And it's funny that the gang stalkers are trying to suggest that, which I kind of know why they would do that. Like they're saying, like, I know who I am. I know, like my background, and like I know certain things. And and it's funny that the gang stalkers figure they can just find any person off the streets and dress it up so that he's me. Like, I'm gonna look at that person and see myself in that person. The gang stalkers are desperate. But then again, if all you really need to do is be a Christian, and then this can happen, I don't know. I mean, I don't know, maybe this person, it just so happened. But and the reason why I bring this up is because, see, gang stalkers, see, I am not black. Genetically, I'm not black, but gang stalkers used to really like to say you're black, and I don't know why, but there was a racial issue in it. And I used to wonder that why all the people that were targeted that would show up, that I would see of, that like at least 95% of them would all say they were black. I was like, well, the gang stalkers could be really stupid. Maybe they think I am. I don't know. You would think that if they had all this background information on me, they would know I wasn't. I mean, they are stupid, but I mean, come on. I don't know how stupid they are. I mean, they are pretty stupid. I mean, let's be real. They are pretty stupid. So maybe they figured, oh, you look kind of black, or you have a black relative, or we just like this, your black idea. So it also brings it into question, because then they're like, you're black. All targeted people are black. So they insert a race in it. And I'm like, wait a minute, but I'm not black. But in their mind, they're like, oh, yes, you are. And, we're black, you're black, and we're making a connection there. It's weird because, so like when they insert race into it, like when you notice that there's a pattern, like there will be a pattern where it'll be black people. The entire thing will just be about black people. So I started to notice a pattern in like the targeted people that would show up in the feed. Like they would all be black. They'd all claim to be poor, like super ultra poor, and then Christian. So they're all sort of saying that this is what it means. This is what you are. And we're saying this is what you are, even though it's not, as a way of kind of fucking with me. Gang stalkers are what happens when you're possessed with a demon. Like a demon is like how the warped, twisted, sadistic mind of a demon, like they just be thinking little demonic schemes up or something. At the same time, to be fair, there is no way of knowing for sure. But, I felt like there were these key things that all these targeted people are saying. So they're saying, oh, we're all poor, super poor, and we're all colored or black. And I would just be like, well, I'm neither of those, but I can understand why they would insert this criteria into the equation, even though in order to be targeted, you don't have to be any of those things in order to be targeted. So most people know that targeted people do not automatically fit in that box because I don't fit in that box. So, and I'm targeted. But to gang stalkers, it's about patterns. So they'll say, oh yeah, look at this guy. They'll find literally just some thug off the beggar, drug addict off the street, and make a whole thing where he's a gang stalker. He's a target now, and he's gonna be like, oh look, this is happening, that's happening. But with this world, you can't really know what goes on. Like, even when I just was about to make the channel, the gang stalkers, a bunch of thugs drove by, and then they were like black people, of course, because now their thing is black people. They drove by with like, yo, ha, 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 and they thought that was funny, and they're idiots. They're literally idiots. So this is probably where they're going to take the operation, because when I say they haven't had any success in any of the stupid shit they've been doing for like the last month, I'm not exaggerating. So I think this is their new move. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this might be where the channel goes. these people are stupid, but at the same time, they're trying to get creative. They are trying to get creative. They're thinking of new ways of getting me, and I kind of feel like this is where they're going to try to take it. So they're going to try to come up with maybe fake T.I.s and create fake channels and be like, oh, look at my guy, some drug dealer, some street person. He's going to be like, look, yo, oh man, I'm a targeted person, boy. I'm Christian and targeted, and oh boy. And I honestly think that they're kind of poking to see like how I'd respond to certain things. So like if this becomes a common thing, I'm going to report on it more because I don't really know. At the same time, to be fair, we don't know why we were targeted. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff though. Like I've seen a lot of stuff. You're not going to tell me that some thug or drug dealer or street crackhead or whatever, the type of people they be recruiting is all of a sudden this targeted person and the entire world revolves around them or whatever. Dude, you're not going to tell me that. I honestly think that the gang stalkers would say anything if they thought it would get under my skin. Like, these are some hateful, petty, loser type people, man. And they just be trying to come up with stuff. At the same time, to be fair, maybe the Freemasons are behind it. Maybe the Freemasons target anybody for really any reason. Like, how would I know? How would I know? Maybe they're racist. And I talked about this before. Maybe those idiots wouldn't know black, brown. They don't know. They're stupid. I mean, they're so stupid that maybe they just be like, man, you just look like you could be the black man, and you were the black man. You getting the black man treatment. We don't care. You have to be the black man. People are stupid. And Freemasons could be some of the most stupid. So I don't know. They're stupid. They have mental illnesses and they're kind of nuts. And who knows what goes through their batshit crazy mind. I have no fucking idea. So is it possible? Sure, it's possible. Sure that they're out there just like, you know what? I can fuck with anybody who looks like a black man and he's a black man and I'm going to fuck with him. Here's another thing. 95%, or at least 90% of all gang stalkers on the ground are black. Almost all of them. Like, and I was like, okay, so when you start saying, oh, targeted people are all black people and there's racism, well, which is what they're kind of saying now. And apparently I'm supposed to be a black man and that fits, right? That makes sense. And then you realize that it literally every one of them is black. Like, if there's a gang stalker with feet on the ground, they're black. And I don't know, so it's kind of weird that they it seems like race is being inserted into the situation now. And that's why I'm just like, this is what happens when you fight demons, like people who are possessed in their mind, like how their mind works. Like, this shit will be so fucking weird and just crazy. And that's why I would just be like, okay, so we're going to play a new game now. But then again, I just want to be fair. I don't know, because this is new. Like, I've just recently been getting these feeds with, poor blacks and, they had like a couple videos too. I mean, they're not quite like mine. They look like they might have, just been like, let's just set this up, do some street theater and, make a video. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, who knows? When you expose something, then you get people who can recreate that and just say, I'm part of your group or whatever. But honestly, I just was like, I don't believe you really. But then again, I don't know. Like, this is new. Like, I hadn't really been paying attention to these people. These people are so hateful and jealous that I honestly think that they would go through the trouble to try to do that just so they can get, their hateful, petty nature, thug nature would just mean that they would have to do something in order to counter my channel or something along those lines. This is what happens when you allow a scummy, hateful, idiot group, whatever group it is, a group of lowlifes, to have power and control over things. Like, you get just complete chaos. Anyhow, with that said, let me go ahead and close.